swept across the United States and several global cities, with demonstrators taking to the streets to voice opposition to President Donald Trump and his administration. In major cities including Dallas, San Francisco, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., New York, L.A., Chicago and Portland, crowds gathered in significant numbers, marking one of the most visible nationwide protest movements in recent months. In Dallas, protests were reported in the downtown area, while in San Francisco, demonstrators formed a massive human display on Ocean Beach reading, "Trump must go now." Philadelphia saw large crowds assembling as part of the nationwide demonstrations, chanting slogans and holding signs critical of the administration. In Washington, D.C., marchers moved through key landmarks, including the Lincoln Memorial and National Mall, chanting "No Kings" and carrying banners calling for political change. New York witnessed some of the largest disruptions, with Times Square shut down as crowds gathered for marches, while protesters were seen displaying effigies of Donald Trump and other officials. The protests are being driven by a combination of key triggers. At the forefront is what demonstrators described as President Trump's push toward military action involving Iran, which has sparked widespread anger and concern. Immigration crackdowns have also emerged as a major flashpoint, with critics saying the measures are fueling frustration among affected communities. Alongside this, a continuing cost of living crisis is adding to public outrage, as rising expenses and economic pressure weigh heavily on households across the country. This comes against the backdrop of declining public support for President Trump, whose approval ratings have reportedly dropped to around 36%, the lowest since his return to the White House, with only about 25% approval on his handling of cost of living. So what does it mean in terms of the implication of the war? Number one, pressure builds for de-escalation. Number two, war objectives likely to be diluted. Number three, earlier than planned exit. Number four, less operational freedom for U.S. military operations. Number five, U.S. global credibility at stake. And amid these nationwide demonstrations, voices from public figures and civil rights leaders are also weighing in strongly, sharply criticizing President Trump and the direction of his policies, with growing calls that are now being amplified through the No Kings movement. Let's listen in.
Trump has to be stopped. And that's what No Kings is all about, because he can't do all the fucked up things that he's been doing without the collusion of Congress and the goons in his administration. They're bound to him by fear of losing their own jobs, their own power. It's diabolical.
Anytime we accept a president that can decide to close airports and say that he does not care that people that voted for him are lined up 3 and 4 hours to get their children to spring break, he wants to first make you vote on a bill that would rob us of our voter protection. It's time to vote against and march against No Kings.
That's right.
Anytime we have a president that says, I'm going to Iran, I'm not going to tell you why I'm going, and I'm not going to tell you when I'm leaving, and I don't even know why I'm there. But I'm the king, and I can put you there. We've already lost 13 lives, and he has said everything's going well. That's why we need No Kings.
Let's go across to Mayank, who's joining us live on the broadcast. There are anti-war protests taking place in America, across Europe as well. Trump's popularity is dwindling. Now, a lot of implications that it could have on the current situation. How are you assessing it?
Swati, interestingly, whatever you have reported till now happening in US, same thing happened yesterday in Israel also. And our VJ Sachin Rawat bringing out live visuals from the place which is called as Havima Square. A major crowd had gathered together talking about the decisions which have been taken in the name of war. And the people who are questioning that, the main point which we could surmise from the people and the crowd which we spoke to was on the decision making. And where is the war heading to? Is it leading to a decision wherein everything would come to an end? And it's an interesting point which encompasses both the US and Israel here. So that's a very interesting point, because masses are realizing that whatever the war started with, the aims and all, they have not been, things have not been able to conclude like that only, as it was visualized. And here, as far as people don't find things leading to a position wherein peace would come back, because peace is something on which people are still looking forward to. So that's an interesting point, and people have started questioning, rationalizing whatever decision is being taken anywhere. And since we had been bringing out reports directly from Tel Aviv, we could find out that thing happening, that decision making, the dilemma in the amongst the people, as far as things are concerned, is coming up. So people will raise questions, logic, and rationalize the things which are happening. And same thing you can see as we had been reporting from US also.
Absolutely. Mayank, do stay on with us. The impact is being felt everywhere. Interestingly, in domestic politics here in India as well. Amid the protest against Donald Trump, the opposition has taken the opportunity to target the center. And the opposition is taking up indirect jibe, the Vishwaguru jibe, stating people have taken to the streets all over America. They have realized that their leader, in his lust for power, quote unquote, and delusion of proving himself a world leader, is taking the country towards destruction. Now, the opposition is hitting out at the center on this issue. India INDI bloc is drawing the Vishwaguru parallel. We have more breaking inputs coming in on the broadcast. Iranian strikes have been reported at Saudi Arabia's Prince Sultan Air Base and has damaged a US